School Topper. Hello, my friends. How are you all? Hello, sir. I'm fine. Hello, sir. I am fine. How are you? I am fine. So, friends, tell me, what do you want to learn today? Sir, today can you please tell us one of your story? Sure, my dear. Today I will tell you a story of how I became a topper of my school. Those were the days when the Second World War was just over. Everyone was waiting for our independence. All the people of our country were happy and cheering for our freedom fighters. Like all the freedom fighters, even I want to do something for my country. For this, I have to study in a good school. Since I was from a poor family, I knew my parents will not be able to afford the fees. So I did not dare to even ask them. One day, while I was studying, my father and mother came to me and said, "Your mother and I are not highly educated, but we know you want to pursue higher studies. We have great dreams for you, Abdul. Don't worry, we will somehow manage the fees so that you can study in a good school. Which school do you want to go to?" "I want to join the Schwartz School, which is in Ramanathapuram near Rameshwaram." "Okay, Abdul, I will manage something. But Abdul, you will have to study hard and make us proud." "Yes, I will do my best." My brother took me to the school and completed the formalities of the admission. It was a very good school. The classrooms were big and had benches for all of us. The teachers used a blackboard and chalk for teaching. Sports activities were also encouraged in the school. During the hot days, the teachers used to take us outside the classroom to study. The students were made to sit under the trees and study. We would go from one tree to another when we had to change our classes. One day, I was in a hurry. So by mistake, I stepped into a wrong classroom where my maths teacher was taking a class. He looked at me and said, "Yes, Abdul, what do you want?" "Sir, I have come to attend my class." "Can't you see this is not your class?" "Sorry, sir." "What are you doing in this school if you can't even find your way to the right class? You should just go back to the village where you came from." All the other students were looking at me and laughing. The teacher then started hitting me with a stick in front of the whole class. Sir, please don't hit me. I will never do it again." I was sad. I also felt homesick. I wanted to go back home. But then I thought, my parents have made great sacrifices to send me to this school. I have to make my parents proud. I made a promise to myself, from this day onwards, I will not only be a good student, but I will be the best. I studied day and night. A few weeks later, we had a maths exam which was conducted by that same maths teacher. I wrote all the answers correctly. After a few days, the maths teacher declared the results. "Rajesh, you have scored 61 out of 100. Yash, you have scored 70 out of 100. Mona, you have scored 80 out of 100. Abdul, what do you think? How much you have scored?" "Sir, I wrote all the answers correctly. Please tell me how much I have scored." "You have scored 100 out of 100. Full marks. Very good, Abdul. Thank you, sir." My dream of scoring full marks in the maths exam was finally completed. I was happy. The next morning, during our assembly, all the students and teachers had gathered. The same teacher who had punished me smiled and said, "Whoever I punish becomes a great man." All the students started laughing. He then recalled what had happened. Now I will tell everyone how Abdul has scored full marks. All the students were listening carefully. The teacher pointed at me and said, "Remember my words. This boy is going to bring glory to his school and the teachers." His words of praise made up for the earlier humiliation. I was happy. All the teachers and students started clapping. After that semester, I went back to my village for holidays. My entire family was happy. My parents hugged me with joy. My brother patted on my back to encourage me. I finally felt that I had done something worthy, but there was still a lot to be achieved. So friends, this was the story of how I became a topper of my school. So from today I will also study hard and try to come first. Yes sir, even I will try to become a topper of my school and make my parents proud. Very good, my friends. A dinner of my life. Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends. Raju, why do you look upset today? Sir, some of my classmates make fun of me all the time. But why? Because I am from a poor family. My dear friends, we should study, eat and play together irrespective of our religion and social status. Yes sir, I keep telling them the same thing. Today, I will tell you an incident that happened with me during my school days. I used to live in my hometown, Rameshwaram. In those times, people used to be very strict about their religious beliefs. However, my science teacher, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer, tried his best to break the social barriers even though he was from an orthodox family. He encouraged us to study, eat and play together irrespective of our religion and social status. He used to spend a lot of time with me and clarify all my doubts. He always used to motivate me for my future. Sir, can you please help me solve this problem? Sure, Abdul. See, this is how you solve it. One day, while I was sitting under a tree and studying, he came to me and asked, "Abdul, can you come to my house tonight for dinner?" I was very happy to have dinner at his house, but I was afraid of his wife. My teacher's wife was known to be very conservative. I knew she would never allow a Muslim in her house, and that too for dinner. Okay, sir, I will come to your house tonight. That night, I went to my teacher's house. He took me inside and made me sit. "Can you please bring the food?" As I feared, my teacher's wife denied to serve the food with her hands. She was so horrified at my presence that she didn't even come out of the kitchen. "I am busy. I cannot come outside. You come and take the food." My teacher did not say anything to her. He himself went inside the kitchen and brought the food. Then he served me the food with his own hands. His wife was hiding behind the kitchen door and watching us. Both of us ate the food. When I was leaving his house, "Abdul, please come home for dinner tomorrow." "Sir, no sir. Please, I don't want to come." "Abdul, Do not get upset. Once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be faced. Okay, sir, I will come tomorrow. I went to his house the next day and knocked the door. To my surprise, my teacher's wife opened the door. She took me inside the house and asked me to sit next to my teacher. She then went inside the kitchen and brought the food herself. She served the food to the both of us with her own hands. Both of us happily ate the food. She might have realized that all humans are the same. Thank you for serving us the dinner. Thank you for the dinner. That evening, I happily went home. People like Shiv Subramaniam Iyer have inspired me to be a good human and to face any challenge and pressure to retain my true character. We are very sorry, sir. You should say sorry to Raju. We are sorry, Raju. No problem, my friends. Very good, my dear friends. Designing a fighter jet. Hello, friends. How are you all? Hello, sir. We are fine. Sir, can you tell us how were you inspired to design a fighter jet? Sure. Me and my friends used to walk back home from school every day. On the way, we often rested near our village pond. We used to enjoy our time by throwing pebbles in the water. I would often sit and watch the cranes and seagulls fly in the sky. The sight of those birds inspired me and I dreamt of my future. As I grew older, my goal became clearer. I have to go to an engineering college to fulfill my dreams. The Madras Institute of Technology, popularly known as MIT, was the best institution for technical studies in South India. I studied day and night to win a scholarship that allowed me to study in such a reputed college. On my first day to college, when I entered MIT, I saw my goal standing in front of me. The MIT campus had two large aircrafts on display. I was fascinated by the details of the design. Even I want to create such an aircraft. For my final project at MIT, I was asked to design a fighter jet with a team of 4 other classmates. We distributed the work among us. One day, my teacher reviewed my progress and said, "Abdul, I am really disappointed with your design. I had expected much more from you." I tried to explain the design to my teacher, but my teacher refused to listen. "Sir, please give me 1 more month. I am sure I will come up with a better design." "Abdul, I will give you 3 days. If on Monday morning you fail to show me a better design, I am afraid your scholarship will be cancelled." I was speechless. The scholarship was my lifeline. I would be helpless without it. I had no choice but to keep on working. I continuously kept working on the design for 2 days. On Sunday morning, I had almost completed the design when I suddenly felt a presence behind me. My teacher was standing behind me and looking at my drawing. After examining my work, he patted me on my back and said, "I knew I was putting you under pressure by asking you to meet an impossible deadline, but I was sure that you will perform well." Thank you, sir. It was a huge sense of joy and relief. My scholarship was continued and I graduated from MIT with outstanding marks. I had already accomplished my goal of successfully designing an aircraft. And now I was drawing close to my dream of flying one too. It was amazing to think that just like the cranes and seagulls I had observed as a child, I would soon fly in the sky. So, even I want to design a fighter jet. So, I want to become a pilot. Very good. But for that, you have to study hard. We will, sir. All religions are equal. A lesson to my teacher. Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends. How are you all? We are fine, sir. Sir, can you tell us a story today? Yes, sir. We want to hear a story today. Okay, sure. I will tell you a story of my school days. The city of Rameshwaram was famous for its Shiva temple. Every evening, I would often spend some time near the temple. The temple visitors used to stare at me suspiciously. They wondered what a Muslim boy was doing near a temple. What is he doing near our temple? We should complain to the priest. The truth was, I loved to listen to the rhythmic chanting of the mantras, though I never understood a word. There was a strange magic in them. There was one more reason for me to visit the temple. My best friend Ramananda Shastri was the son of the head priest. He used to sit next to his father reciting the mantras. I used to hide near the temple gate and watch him. He was aware of me being there. Ram would often look at me and smile. At school, Ram and I always sat together on the first bench of our classroom. Being the son of a Hindu priest, he wore a sacred thread, while my white cap marked me as a Muslim. One day, a new teacher came to our class. He looked strict. He went around the class and observed all the students. He came near us and said, "You, the one in the white cap, how dare you sit beside the temple priest's son? Go, sit on the last bench." I felt hurt. With tears in my eyes, I picked up my books and shifted to the last bench. After school, Ram came to me and said, "Abdul, don't worry. Everything will be alright." Ram went home and told everything to his father. When I reached home, my father looked at me and said, "What's wrong, Abdul? Why are you crying?" I told him about the whole incident. The next morning, Ram came to my house and said, "My father has asked you and your father to come to our house immediately." I was afraid. I thought Ram's father is also going to shout at me. "Okay, Ram, I will come with you." The three of us went to Ram's house. Ram's father and our new teacher were standing in front of Ram's house. "You must apologize to Abdul for what you did in school yesterday." I could not believe what I had just heard. The head priest was asking the teacher to apologize to me. No child is less than another in God's eyes. It is your duty as a teacher to help students live in harmony in spite of the differences in their background. You can no longer teach in the school. You are dismissed. "I am sorry, sir." "Abdul, I am very sorry. I mistreated you. Please forgive me." "It's all right, sir. I have learned an important life lesson today." Ram's father realized that the teacher sincerely regretted for his behavior and permitted him to continue his job as a teacher in our school. From that day on, Ram and I proudly sat together on the first bench. Me and Ram remained best of friends ever since. So, even we will be friends forever. Very good. Success. The Missile Man. Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends. How are you all? We are fine, sir. Sir, can you tell us about the Agni missile? Yes, sir. We all want to hear about it. Yes, sure. We repeatedly tried to test launch the Agni missile, but we failed. It was also getting delayed due to several reasons. The press was eagerly paying attention to our progress. Such delays are common in rocket science, but the entire nation was upset. The news was shared on the radio and in the newspapers. Me and my team were having a very difficult time due to the repeated failures. I called for a meeting of my entire team, which had 2000 members. A great opportunity has been given to us. All major opportunities are accompanied by equally major challenges. We cannot give up. Our country deserves the best from us. I promise you, Agni will be launched successfully on our next trial. My team was optimistic. We all worked hard. The launch was finally scheduled for 22nd May 1989. Dignitaries such as the Chief of Army Staff and the Defense Minister had come to witness the launch. On the previous night, we all had gone for a walk on the beach. Will we succeed with the Agni launch tomorrow? This question was on everyone's mind, but none of us was willing to speak. Kalam, how should we celebrate the Agni success tomorrow? Is there anything your heart desires? It was a simple question to which I could not find an immediate answer. What did I want? What was it that I did not have? Then I found the answer. We need 1 lakh saplings to plant in our research center. You want the blessings of Mother Earth for Agni? We will surely succeed tomorrow. The next day, Agni took off at 7:10 in the morning. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was a perfect launch. 5 years of continuous hard work at various work centers had finally paid off. It was and will remain one of the greatest moments of my life. Me and my team were happy. The entire nation celebrated.
I'm sure you enjoyed watching this video. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel and watch more interesting videos.